Today we carry on with our part 2 of our 500 subscriber builds. And with today, it's a 1989 Batmobile from 2019. Let's get into this puppy. Hello and welcome to Bricks and Toys. And this is another 500 subscriber thank you episode. And this is the second and final part to the builds that we have chosen to say, hey guys, we do big-ish on this channel, especially when we meet goals. And it's just a huge thank you and a show of we do everything we say we're going to do on this channel. So today is one that I'm super excited for. This is one that is like the Death Star. It's on that top 5 list of its goal sets. It's like Town Hall, the Death Star, the Millennium Falcon, which I was able to do already. This one is right there. This is the big mofo 1989 from Michael Keaton's Batman, the Batmobile. Now this is set number 76139, coming in at 3,306 pieces. Like I said, the set came out in 2019, and it did set you back about 250 bones back in the day. It has since been retired, and it is now, it's a weird number of somewhere between 400 and 600, depends on who you ask and who has one. If you guys want to buy one of these new in box, like I did. As you guys know from the prior video in this series, we were able to go down to Arizona where we picked up this and the Batwing, which is up here behind me, for a combined $600. And to the person, again, thank you for selling. Thank you for wanting to sell to someone that knows that they're going to open up the sets. Again, thank you. So, again, this is super incredible. I'm super excited. And like with the Batwing behind me, I do have a cabinet right here ready to go. And unlike the Batwing, that one is not broken. That one's not waiting for parts. And that one is now at waist level. So we don't got to get up on a ladder and do death-defying stunts once it's done to put it up for display. So let's go over the box. Let's take a good look at this wonderful set. First off, what I want to know is what's the dimensions of this set? And it's looking at about 23.9 inches long. It's looking at about 5.8 inches tall. So about 6 tall and about 24 wide or long. So that makes sense to why I need a cabinet that is that big. When I was putting together this cabinet on that video, I was like, man, this thing's huge. Well, no kidding. It's a big build. Now, this comes with the Joker in his purple outfit, unlike the black and white one we got with the Batwing. And it comes with Vicky Vale. Both of those are exclusive minifigures, but the Batman is the same as the Batwing, which is pretty cool. Between the full set of the Batmobile and the Batwing, we have 4 exclusive minifigures, and I guess 1 to each set that's the same. It's kind of weird. It was kind of like that with the ones that they just released for the kids this year, or the 89 Batmobile and the Batwing. That was the play function. It was the same thing. It was exclusive, but Batman was the same. So, weird. Anyway, it looks like it's got a really nice interior cockpit. It looks like it's got really good details. It has the display plaque. It has the same minifigure display stand as the Tumbler and the Batwing. So all that is really consistent, really cool. The overall box is in really good shape. Like I said in the prior episode of the series, this guy kept one of these sets in the bag, and it was the old school plastic bags that we used to get from Lego, not the paper bags. So that's probably why the box looks so great. And honestly, guys, besides the Tumbler, This is like one of my favorite Batmobiles, and that's why I'm so excited for this set. And if I'm not mistaken, it was built off of either a 69 or 70, somewhere in there, Impala chassis. So if you ever actually got to be in this model of the Batmobile, you're technically driving basically a land yacht of an Impala dressed like a superhero car. So that's really cool. But without further ado, let's get a knife and let's do the unthinkable and let's cut open this set. That's the hardest part with this whole series, is defiling these sets that this guy kept sealed for so long. 2 pieces of tape right on across. Now I expect this to have far more bags than the 13 that the other one had. I can see 23. So we have some more homework to do than we did before. Oh, so this one actually has 2 boxes. I see a bag 24 right there. Same tires, that's what's found on the tumbler. And I'm going to guess my books are going to be in this box. Do I have any extra parts? Ooh, that part looks really cool. It's a printed element. Oh, look at this. It kind of has like a sketch outline on the box. That's really cool. So another 2 pieces of tape, and it gets the job done. So here we have the front tires. So front, rear. So the rear tires of the 89 Batmobile is the same as the front tires of the tumbler. So as expected, we have a sticker pack, we have a book, and it's in plastic like all the old school sets. Let's go ahead and I tell you, this is cringe, guys. This is the definition of cringe right here. And speaking of cringe, let's just take a quick second just to shout out the fact that now, if you guys want to help support the channel, down below there is a thanks button, and when you click it, all your donations go into a special account to buy future Lego sets. So if you guys want to support the channel, that's how you can do it. Now, getting back to the build. Doesn't smell of strong ink like we normally get. We have a total of 13 stickers. It does reset the instructions just to build the minifigure stand, but not a display for the car. They kind of did make a base like they did for the tumbler for this one. But we are looking at 614 building steps and 425 pages. Now, breaking down the actual build, it's a lot more complex than the Batwing. The first 2 is its own set. There's 3 and 4 is the next, 5 and 6 is the next, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. So that's 6 building stages right there. And it continues on and on and on until bag 24. So we have basically 12 building steps. Every 2 bags builds a chunk of this beauty. So with that one, just like we did with the Batwing, we're going to go to a time lapse and we're going to get this sucker built, and then we'll be back to review it, and then we'll stuff it in the cabinet. So enjoy the time lapse, and I'm going to get some work done. Okay guys, build is done after about 9 hours on this 3,300 piece build. So let's go ahead, let's get this cabinet opened up, let's get it cleaned out on the inside, just like we did up there, and let's get it ready. Now, fortunately for me with this one, there is no repairs necessary. Everything is done, everything is nicely cleaned. Just got to knock the dust off, and we just got to clean the inside of all of the manufacturing debris. So with these cases, the way that they're supposed to operate is just like that, and that lid comes off. Now we just have our flat bottom base, and we just want to get it nice and cleaned. Now, one really weird thing about these cases is the bottom part does detach from the very bottom part. So that is one really weird thing to note, is you have the glass box, the acrylic box, the display plate, and then you have the bottom of the case. I don't know why it's manufactured like that, because I would hope for more than just 2 magnetic attachment points here and here. Maybe you put another 2 down here to make it more secure, because when you pop this thing in, it lines it up in the right spot, but it's very easy to kick out of place when you're trying to do something as simple as just dusting. Okay, so we are all clean at the bottom of this case. We are ready to put the car in, but now it's time for you guys to get a look at this build and see it up close and personal. And I am so excited to show you what this thing looks like once it's completed. So let's get into the review. Okay, just like before, let's start off with these minifigures of Vicky Vale, Batman, and the Joker. And as you can see, unlike the Batwing from the first episode, the Joker is correctly purple. Batman is the same as the Batwing, and does have dual face printing, where the other 2 minifigures, I believe, do not. Let's double check. So with their hair pieces and bat cape removed, you can see the front of the faces and how the Batman has the little white above its head. You can also see that these both have, or all 3 have, really good chest and leg printing on the front. And then if we come over here to the back, you can see that they have back printing on the back torsos. Vicky Vale does have the second face, and so does Batman. Joker does not. Just like with the Tumbler and the Batwing, they all come with this really cool stand. So now, let's talk about the car. So this is the Batmobile. I did build the stand that it sits on, but this will not be the stand that it rests on. It will be resting on those perches over there. So let's just go over all of the detail, because the detail on this is really, well, it's black, but there is some really nice detail on the sides right there. You can get a good look at that plaque, and then some more venting and air scoops on the side. The wheels have the Bat logo on them, which is really cool. There is a wider tire in the rear, and a more off-roady, slimmer tire in the front, as found with most common Lego sets. Swinging it around, we get a nice side profile. That is a sticker element on the side, but over here we do have a printed element right there on the side. The front has this really beautiful detail all throughout it. Really happy with the front. Captures the styling excellently. And there we have the very, very lower front of it. Love the part usage to make all of this happen. Going into the rear, we got those lovely bat fins, simple taillights, looks like some exhaust down here with minifigure heads, and we have that really cool turbine back piece. Coming down the side, it's exactly parallel with the other side as far as detail, which is really cool. But then Going back to that turbo, or that turbine, we have our first feature, and it turns. Coming over here to the front, we got these plastic parts that just popped out. Right there, looks like that. And that allows for the machine guns to come up. That's for when you really screw up and piss off Batman. Pew! So that's really cool. And those very simply cover back up, just like so. One stud holding those on, and super easy to put back. Now, one of my most favorite features of this Batmobile is going to be the cockpit. It slides. It pops up and slides forward. And inside you can see all of the detail. And one of the coolest parts about it is if you move the wheels, the steering wheel does move. Functioning steering, unlike the tumbler that came after this. There we get a look at the back of the seats. We'll try turning this car around. We can get a look from the other side. And there's a look at all the control gauges. Room for two in this one, which is really dope. Can't say that about the Batwing. And that easily covers up just like that. So that is the look at the Batmobile. Now let's stuff it over there in the case. Okay, so now we're gonna put the Batmobile in the Batman case. And I want the car to go facing me. I want to see the long, beautiful hood, everything coming out towards this direction. This is centered, this is parallel, so this is telling me that it's not directional on which way to go, so hopefully we can make this work. So very carefully looking at the bottom of the car, you can see it's made with a lot of Technic, and that's where I think it's going to want to latch in from. Now I need to take a refresher course from when I built this, because I built this over 3.5 hour days, so somewhere around there. So I need to take a look, and I can kind of see within these Technic blocks there's room for it to latch into. So let me get down here on my knees and start seeing. Okay, yes, it's going to lock in on those. So let's go ahead, let's just start dropping it down, just like that. Okay, so we're in. I don't feel like I need to change my underwear, so that is good. Let's just keep adding features, because I feel like this is centered. This is looking really cool. So now let's add our features in, just like we did with the other case. Pop this off. So we took our plate off the stand, and now we want to line our plate up. So now we have our back plate to our display plaque, and we're just going to lock that in. Now I want to take a good second and look and make sure that I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I've already dusted the car. I've already cleaned the case. I've already made the minifigures, made sure that they're where I want them to be. Everything seems perfect. The plaque seems good. Because I'll tell you, when I did the Batwing, after I hung up the video and I came back and looked up, I noticed one of the wings, because they're foldable at the top, was actually pushed. So it wasn't parallel on both sides. And I didn't like that. So now, what I actually want to do is I want to get the case up on the desk, and I want to kind of wipe down the side really quick before we put it back on. Because now we're just going to take our case and just articulate it around our obstacles. Okay, so that's not going to fit. So I'm going to have to remove my light, just like so. Now with the light removed, let's try it again. Oh, much better. Stinking lights. When you do YouTube, you can't live without your lights, but sometimes they get in the way of your Lego displays. And the light goes back on just like that. So now, let's go ahead and let's give it another wipe. And there it is in the cabinet. Wow. Now that looks sick. Okay, so that wraps it up for the build. And this is where I like to give my final thoughts. And again, like I said with the Batwing, something about the pre-COVID, COVID era Lego sets, they just hit differently. I told my mom several times throughout this build over the last 3 days that building Gringotts Bank seemed just to be a walk in the park. Building the Venador seemed to be a walk in the park. But this build, whatever it was about the 23 bags, 24 bags that made up this build, it just felt like the build wouldn't end. Like I said, I did about 3.5 hour days over the period of 3 days, but it just felt like it went and it went and it went. But honestly, guys, I'm okay with that because it made a hell of a great build. The car is so sturdy. I was very little worried about lifting it off of its tires and putting it in there. The only thing I was really worried about was, you know, when you move Lego sets and your fingers touch the wrong spots, and next thing you know, you got stud shooters going off, parts falling on the floor, and then you got to take it off from where you're trying to put it, and you guys know the struggles. So this build is incredible. I can tell you it's worth every bit of its post-retirement price. I'm very thankful to the guy that sold it to me once again. I was looking upwards of $480 to $600 for this set, and he hooked it up for around $400, like I said, and that was just mint. If you guys are on the fence about this one and not quite sure, maybe you built to the tumbler that I have up here and you guys weren't too excited about that Batmobile's build quality, or maybe you did the tumbler and then the Batwing and you just aren't sure based on those two builds if this one's worth it, because those build qualities are way less than this one. Well, guys, it is definitely worth it. I definitely recommend it. I love this build, even though I felt like it just kept going and going and going. And yeah, 10 out of 10, recommend. Super happy about it. Not to mention, it looks beautiful in that case. So on that one, guys, I just want to say there is now a thanks button down below. If you guys hit that, you guys can help support the channel. Everything you guys donate will go into an account to buy Lego builds, such as this, or any suggestions that you guys comment down below that you would like to see on the channel. And on the terms of comment down below on builds you guys may like to see, drop your comments down below. What do you think about the 2019 1989 Batmobile? What do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about the case? Do you think Shop Pop made a good case for this? And like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.